There are many games that require you to do ridiculous tasks for one simple achievement, one of those games being Half-Life 2 Episode 2. This one particular achievement requires you to bring a garden gnome from the beginning of the game to basically the end of the game. This is a very tedious task. So the question is, how hard is the Little Rocket Man achievement in Half-Life 2 Episode 2?
Come on, this way.
From the very start, I knew that this was going to be very difficult. So I had a small plan. The plan was to let Alex kill most of the things that I encountered until her feelings got hurt. But I eventually forgot about that plan because I have smooth brain moments all the time. So then, I let my gnome friend on a nice good roller coaster ride down the mine shaft. And this was the very first time I thought that I had lost
I can
him.
always count on you.
I could not
your way
find him
through.
for a while, and then I
The
eventually
radio
found
center
him
at Black Mesa.
like
Getting
maybe
the launch off while the
5
combine
minutes
was
later,
intact?
and he was right there in front of me. Then I found a nice good place for my friend to sit. I saw my sleep paralysis demon, watched Alex get sexually assaulted, and got curb stomped. Later on, our green friend found us, and then I had a heart attack, thinking that I was about to lose my gnome again in a mine shaft.
Press on.
Then I completely failed the game by not getting off an elevator in time. Then I saved my gnome from being crushed and then used him as a high-class weapon. This was it. This was the first time that I would lose my gnome, and no matter how hard I tried, I would never get him back. So I had to load up a save. Then I put shame to my family by not being able to prop jump. I saw my sleep paralysis demon again, watched Alex get abused again, and got curb stomped. Later, where I should have been earlier, I avoided most enemies so I could get to my resistance friends.
You idiot. That's Gordon Freeman.
Then I saw the power of God coming from my green friend's hands. I found a nice good hiding spot for my gnome, and I got some supplies. Then it was time to kill a bunch of antlions. Antlions are super easy to kill. It's like throwing butter at the wall. Then I noticed how stupid that metaphor was, and I questioned my life decisions. After thinking, I noticed that the metaphor was dumb, so I killed myself, for a new start. Then our green friends showed up once more to save the day. Then some real gamer music came on, and I knew that stuff was about to get real. Then eventually, I had to go get the extract from the Seaman Caves, as I like to call them. In the Seaman Caves, I wandered around in various small things full of ugly grub things. I experienced pain, mentally and physically, when an antlion guard threw me off of a cliff, or whatever this is, multiple times. Then I was pretty close to the exit, and I knew the antlion guard would be somewhere, so I made sure to be inside of this little cavern as much as I could. Then I saw the exit, along with my friend. Terrified for my life, I ran for the small hole, which was my savior for that moment, and I was home free. I saw the exit. Well, at least I thought I was home free, because the antlion guard came once more and almost killed me. I was on 2 health, and thank God for my HEV suit, because I would have died. Then finally, at the exit, the antlion guard tried to, I don't know, touch me inappropriately, and I got out as fast as I could, but it wasn't that fast at all. It was the most subpar escape I had ever made.
As we imbibe the extract. Yes.
Back at the mine,
Is needed.
I joined my green friends, about to heal Alex, and I freaked out for a second and clicked escape for some reason.
We weave the freeman's life. Yes.
Then I turned purple and started floating around for some reason with my green friends, and I saw Alex's insides, which was not very pleasing.
Would otherwise occupy.
I talked to our mutual friend, the G-Man,
Was a time they can
and watched him get a bit too close to Alex.
prepare for.
After Alex woke up, I thought about leaving as fast as I could, just for the sake of time and editing. But I forgot that I had. Back on the surface, my audio got very messed up, and I had to kill the antlion guards. So I'll just let y'all listen to the royalty-free lo-fi beats.
This time you may
After killing the antlion guards and
but
venturing
made it no
elsewhere,
farther than the abyss.
I came to a bridge where my
Well, if they
vehicle
got it over there,
would be waiting
can jump
for
it
me
back to this
retrieve
side.
it. Eventually, I got stuck in the most simple room known to mankind. Then, this was when the plan that I had at the beginning of the video came into place. Indoors, I would have to kill most enemies, but outdoors, I would let Alex kill most of the enemies with the sniper rifle. Now, this was probably my least favorite part of this run, mainly because I had to run around toxic goo that was just laying around. Now, if the prop is small enough, it will sink to the bottom. Every prop will sink to the bottom. But you won't be able to see it, so you will blindly be grabbing at stuff and things. Then after failing at prop flying again, I decided just to run around. But the thing is that there were zombies, and mainly zombines, who will pull out grenades and try to blow me up. Finally, on the vehicle that was across the bridge, I completely failed and ended the game by falling off of the bridge. Then I spent 10 literal minutes trying to find a place to put the gnome. I got stuck in the car. I tried to prop fly again and completely failed and looked like a fool, and encountered my sleep paralysis demons. The fact that the gnome would not stay in the vehicle, there was nowhere to put it where it would stay. I can't put it behind a seat or anything. It just slid around in the car the entire time. So I had to come up with some idea how to get past the helicopter without losing the gnome in the vehicle or carrying it. So normally I would grab the gnome and just shoot it somewhere, but I can't run around because the helicopter will shoot at me, and every time that the helicopter shoots at me, I'll drop the gnome. So eventually I got into, I don't know, some railroad, and there were spots to hide under the train cars, and that went very well. I had to go do something for somebody, I forgot what it was, but I left my game running, and the helicopter decided to leave me alone, and I could just walk around freely. I got to the end of the railroad, and there were 2 tunnels that I needed to go through, so I made a way clear for me and Alex to go through.
I'll wait here.
I retrieved the gnome, put him in the back of the car somehow, and then we got to the second part of the railroad. Now, the bad part about this segment of the railroad is that there's not many train cars that you can hide under. But, lucky me, the helicopter still wanted nothing to do with me. So, I went on in the car after dropping my gnome off somewhere, and finally came back to face the helicopter. I made a run for it, got my gnome, found a little nice cubby hole for him to sit. Back near the rebel base,
We may have to ditch the
I
car.
broke the car and found my gnome friend again in the cubbyhole right where I left him. Then I somehow died from the shortest fall known to mankind and watched the bravest man taken down by a helicopter right in front of my eyes, and I felt truly bad. I took down the helicopter, and then I took this guy's beer and threw it on the ground,
I was drinking that.
lit a couple of zombies on fire, back with my vehicle and dog after I wasted all my time finding stashes. I slowly raced dog to White Forest with the gnome in the back of the car, listened to the biggest idiot known to mankind.
No, now an AR-3, sure, plenty of times. There is no such thing as an AR-3. Well, see, in the city, the place was lousy with AR-3s. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it was. So do you know what the alternative fire method does on the AR-2? Kills hunters. How did you city folk kill hunters? We sure as hell didn't use guns. We would just wrestle hunters to the ground with our bare hands. I used to kill 10, 20 a day, just using my fists. Oh, so when you're out in the field, you're gonna be punching hunters? In the field? I'm not going out in the field. I'm a radio operator. That's it. Leave. You don't need to be here, and I'm not gonna continue the lesson until you leave. I'm staying right here. I am serious. Leave.
I reunited with Eli,
We all have to do our.
listened to him make a strange joke,
Blame an old man for wanting grandkids?
Super portal's active.
and then I saw my gnome friend very, very excited to finally
Launch before.
get on the rocket.
I see you in the AGV.
Then I let Lamar, the head humper, get into the rocket before I set my gnome inside of there.
Freeman, you're not doing anything. Make yourself useful and find out
I closed the rocket door, and then I had finally done it. I had gotten the Little Rocket Man
Catch up with
achievement.
us when you're done.
Then Dr. Magnuson called for me, and I had to do some stupid tasks.
Sealed due to the alerts.
I took out a good couple of hunters and combine soldiers just to launch out a rocket. I blew up some incels with my rocket launcher, and then I really didn't feel like sitting through all of the talking that was about to take place after I had taken care of all of the enemy forces. So, because I had already gotten the achievements, I put my host frame rate up and just skipped everything. I killed a good couple of striders trying to finally let the rocket go off. Why they couldn't let the rocket off, I don't know. It's not that hard. They could have just let it off before they got there. Finally, this was it.
Push the button, Gordon.
It was time to launch the rocket. I watched my gnome that I had so gracefully taken care of. I was very proud of it, and I had finally achieved the Little Rocket Man achievement in Half-Life 2, Episode 2.